I'd like to welcome everybody to our January 15th Brigantine City Council meeting. Please rise for the flag salute. Please remain standing while our Deputy Mayor Karen Pugh leads us in prayer.
Heavenly Father, we come to you at the beginning of a new year, asking for your blessings and help as we are gathered together. We pray for peace, calm, and understanding in our community, and for you to continue to guide the Israeli-Hamas ceasefire and hostage release. We pray for guidance as we enter our new terms of office and ask that you help us to work together and encourage each other to reach higher and farther to be the best we can be. In the words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., help us to walk together, pray together, and live together until that day when all God's children, black, white, red, and yellow, will rejoice in one common band of humanity in the kingdom of our Lord. In your name we pray. Please remain standing while we have a moment of silence for the Gunther family, for the recent loss of their brother, Charles Joseph. Charlie grew up in Brigantine, attending St. Philip's and Holy Spirit. He served on the Brigantine Beach Patrol, the Brigantine Police Department, and then went to a long career in security and surveillance in numerous Atlantic City casinos. Charlie is survived by his wife, Kathy, their daughter, Alyssa, his brothers, Joseph and Philip, and sister, Maureen Baldwin. Services will be held on Friday morning at St. Elizabeth Ann Seton Church in Upseekin beginning at 9 a.m. Thank you. Please be seated.
Lynn, can you read the Open Public Meetings Act announcement? Christine, can you read? I've been corrected. Just don't call me Mayor Gunther.
This is to advise the meeting notices covering this meeting have been sent and posted as required under the Open Public Meetings Act.
Thank you. Well done. Good job for your first one. Before we get started with our swearing in, I'd actually like to do a special presentation. Tonight is our clerk, Lynn Sweeney's last official meeting. And I want to personally thank her, not just being a clerk, for service to the city. I think Lynn's been in the city a little over 25 years. And I think that she has taken this position long ago, just being a clerk. I was the clerk of the city. Anytime there's someone who needs help, Lynn's there. For any of us on council, especially me, when I started, she was there for watching over City Hall, watching over the city. Her work with True Spirit Coalition was to Thanksgiving meeting atmosphere for the team, have a great Thanksgiving. Same thing too with the Halloween. I know that she works with the volunteers to collect presents for people all over the island to make sure that and it's her dedication is something that I think that she truly loves her job, but truly loves it. She serves in a very, very so thank you very much for the proclamation. After this, we're going to have to sign this. We didn't want to do it ahead of time. So Lynn has to sign all these, and we didn't want her to know ahead of time, so this one's not signed, but we're trying to keep it a surprise. So whereas the city clerk, Lynn Sweeney, started working as a secretary for the city of Brigantine in 1999 and was promoted to the position of city clerk in 2005, where she has provided valuable and friendly service to residents, visitors, and businesses on the island. Whereas Lynn is known for her helpfulness, selflessness, and kindness as a city clerk, and through her work with the Community Presbyterian Church, she has worked with various groups, connecting individuals with assistance and providing relief to families in times of need. For many years, Lynn has dedicated her holiday season to organizing food and clothing donations, shopping for toys, and making deliveries to families for the True Spirit Coalition. She also worked tirelessly for Rick Strong in the aftermath of Superstorm Sandy, ensuring that those affected receive the services they need. Additionally, Lynn has volunteered to lead community events, such as organizing the pre-race dinner for the Brigantine Triathlon and ensuring that Santa had plenty of treats to hand out for our annual tree lighting ceremony. Whereas Lynn Sweeney exemplifies the qualities of a dedicated public servant whose values and commitment have far exceeded expectations and have greatly contributed to the unity and strength of our community. Now, therefore, I, Vince Sarah, Mayor of the City of Brigantine, on behalf of City Council and the people of Brigantine, do hereby recognize Lynn Sweeney for her outstanding service to our community. Lynn, thank you. I'd like you to come down next week.
Thank you, everyone. I'm really surprised. My family's here, my granddaughters, great niece, everybody's here. Much appreciated. Thank you.
Tell us where Ross.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Mayor. I'm June Dillon Burns, Karen Dillon Hughes' little sister. Karen has always been there for me, still has. When I was little, she stepped in when mom needed a break. She taught me in middle school. She taught two of my children in grammar school and had to get that parent call, but it was her sister every night talking about the class. She's always been there. Fast forward as I grew older and matured, we became more alike. She's the first Dillon girl in public service. We come from a family of public service. Her career was public service, but the first in politics. She paved the way for me. I'm your county commissioner. I did it because I called her all the time for advice. And first, in the summer of 2002, I called her. My husband's working 7 days a week. I have 2 little girls at home. Karen, thinking about getting a dog. What do you think? What do you think? The girls are begging for a dog. June? Have a baby. It's easier. I had a baby. He's now 21. I tell you that in jest, but I'm so proud of her. She is the glue that holds our family together now. And she is the rock of Brigantine. I know how much she does here for all of you. I'm so proud to be here, standing here for her today. I didn't think you would like it if I said that. No. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and in this state under the authority of the people, and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties required as a member of the First Ward, as First Ward councilperson, according to the best of my ability. So help me God.
The first time I got to swear June in was when she first became council person in Linwood. And then she reciprocated 4 years ago for me. However, if you remember what was going on 4 years ago, we were on Zoom. She had just got out of quarantine. She had COVID over Christmas. I had COVID. She came, she said, I'm not going to get it again. So she came to the house and swore me in on Zoom. Yeah, yeah. Gordy was standing there with the Bible. It's always a good time. But I thank you, June, very much. Molly and Melissa, thanks for stepping in for Dad. A little bit under the weather. Right now. I love this job. I met somebody a few nights ago and said, what do you do? I said, well, I'm a retired teacher. I said, nice job. Part-time job. He said, oh, what do you work for? I said, the city of Brigantine. What do you do? I said, man. So it was, yeah, I enjoyed this job. Such a great group of guys, such great support for me. They always watch out for me. The department heads are wonderful. Tiger's great. Jordan. So I want to thank everybody and especially Gordo for putting up with yeah, this is start here doing this, so it's been a it's a pleasure.
right, at this time, I'd like to take a 5-minute recess. We have a motion and second.
Make that motion. Make
All
that
in
motion.
favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, 5-minute recess.
Sorry.
That's all right. Yes. All right, so. Words. Do you want to, I can have her talk when we do 13, which is establishing the rate increase, instead of making them wait till the end. Or does she want to talk about it at the beginning? Why don't we do it certain in the beginning? We don't have to stay for the whole meeting. Why don't we do it right at the beginning so she can talk about it?
I gotta have like 4 or 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna resume the meeting.
Calling Mike Reard. Calling Mike Reard.
All right, can we have a motion and second to resume the meeting?
I'll make that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, meeting has resumed. Tiger, we have an executive session tonight.
Honor of Lynn, even though she's not here. No, we do not.
Next up, we have our approval of our January 2nd, 2025 council meeting minutes. A motion second. Questions or comments? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
Abstain.
Lettieri?
Yes.
Haney?
Yes.
Virgilio?
Yes.
Kane?
Yes.
Reardon?
Yes.
Mayor Sarah?
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, this time we'll open it up for public comment. This is public comment on agenda items only. Anybody wishing to be heard, please come up and state your name and address for the record. Seeing no public comment, we're going to close the public portion at this time. Next up, we have ordinance number 1 of 2025. This is a public hearing and adoption, and this is an ordinance of the city of Brigantine to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limit and establish a CAPS bank. We have a motion and second.
I'll make that motion.
All right, at this time, we're going to open up the public hearing. Anybody wishing to be heard on ordinance number 1, please come up, state your name and address for the record. Seeing no public participation, we're going to close the public portion. Any council comments? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
View?
Yes.
Lettieri?
Yes.
Haney?
Yes.
Virgilio?
Yes.
Kane?
Yes.
Reardon?
Yes.
Mayor Sarah?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Ordinance number 2 of 2025. This is a public hearing and adoption. This is an ordinance amending chapter 284 of the code of the city of Brigantine as it relates to handicap parking spaces. This is for a handicap parking space at 103 30th Street. A motion second.
I'll make that motion. Second.
All right, at this time, we're going to open up the public hearing. Anybody wishing to be heard on this ordinance, please come up and state your name and address for the record. Seeing no public participation, we're going to close the public portion. Any council comments? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
View?
Yes.
Lettieri?
Yes.
Haney?
Yes.
Virgilio?
Yes.
Kane?
Yes.
Reardon?
Yes.
Mayor
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Ordinance number 3 of 2025. This is an introduction, and this is an ordinance amending chapter 284 of the code of the city of Brigantine as it relates to handicap parking spaces. And this is for the removal of a handicap parking space that is no longer needed at 2904 Bayshore Avenue. Motion second. So moved. Questions or comments? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
View?
Yes.
Lettieri?
Yes.
Haney?
Yes.
Virgilio?
Yes.
Kane?
Yes.
Reardon?
Yes.
Mayor Sarah?
Yes.
Motion carried.
We have resolution 2025, number 24, and this is a resolution of support for, from local governing body authorizing fiscal year 2025 local recreation improvement grant application funded by the New Jersey Department of Community Affairs. We have a motion second.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
At this time, I'm going to turn it over to our city manager, Tiger Platt. I think he's going to talk about resolution, this one, 2024, and included in that, I think, number 30 as well.
Thank you, Mayor. As Mayor said, this grant would be we're putting it for $100,000 for a local recreation grant. The use of these funds would be to offset the down payment required for another grant that we're applying for, which was being resolution 2025-30 coming up. And that is a Green Acres funding for a inclusive playground to replace the current playground at East Shore Drive and Golf Course Drive across the country. That playground needs to be redone. That whole property needs to be redone. We've put a lot of work and time and energy, the whole team of people, to get this across the finish line. Cities the total cost of this project is $753,000. The city would be on the hook for $188,000. We're hoping this $100,000 grant would offset that 188 to put the cost to the taxpayer around $88,000. Historically, this grant, local recreation grant, we've been very successful with it, getting between $70,000 and $80,000 every year. So we're hoping that we'll continue to have that success, along with being successful with the East Shore Drive playground to build a beautiful and fully inclusive playground. With that information, if you do go on our website, and I highly encourage everyone to go on our website, right on the front page, there's information you can click. There's all the details on the project, cost estimates, concept plans, environmental plans. Everything is on the website, to include a survey that we're asking people to fill out, a really short survey about the playground and what they're looking for in a fully inclusive playground. And I just want to mention, an inclusive playground is a playground that's designed for use for children in wheelchairs and stuff like that, so they have full access to it. So we highly encourage everyone to go on our website, fill out the survey. It's also on our social media pages, Island of Brigantine, and there will also be a public meeting on January 30th at 5 p.m. at the Brigantine Golf Links, where we will have more information to hand out. If people have some questions they have about it, they can come to that meeting. They could always stop by my office anytime, or call the office, or email me. All that information is on the website, how to, when the meeting is, in case they forget between now and then. But we highly encourage the public to come out and support this. And we are keeping our fingers crossed for Green Acres funding for a beautiful playground down in East Shore Drive. Thank you.
For the public meeting, that'll all be advertised.
It is advertised. It's on our website. It will also be advertised in the Times this Friday and next Friday as well. I've already talked to them. They'll be putting it up as a public notice as well. And it is on the social media as well. We'll be making sure everyone is aware. January 30th, 5 p.m. at the golf links. Yeah, and it'll be in the next Tuesday, I think. It goes in the Atlantic City Press as well.
And part of this too, we've been trying to restore that playground for a long time. There's some broken parts down there. Public Works does a good job of maintaining it, but the equipment's so old, we actually can't order parts for it anymore. We normally try to strategically plan this stuff out. With this one, the grant became available, and you can see it's almost an $800,000 project to do this. We're going to get a majority of the money, hopefully, through the grant, but normally our projects, we try to keep it where it has minimal to no impact. This could have a small impact depending on what we get for the second grant that we're applying for. And I think that's the importance too of making sure that we have the public meetings, people know that, and actually if you could have Al run the numbers so people know specifically what that impact.
Absolutely.
I think that's something that's important. Part of this too is increasing our ADA compliance within the city. Every municipality has an obligation to make sure that we meet ADA accessibility regulations, and we're trying to work on that throughout the city. And this will create a nice ADA compliant in Brigantine for our residents. And I would tell you it's something that is definitely needed. So I'd like to see these move forward. Any questions or comments from council?
I just know 10 was taking my grandkids there. It was, and Johnny and I have talked a lot about it. They've made some improvements, but this is going to be awesome.
Taking our kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just take a minute to tire them out.
We ride our bikes there. If there's no further comments, can we have roll call?
Yes.
Lettieri?
Yes.
Yes.
Virgilio? Kane?
Yes.
Reardon?
Yes.
Mayor Sarah?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Resolution 2025-25, and this is a resolution by the city of Brigantine, New Jersey, establishing the rate increase for the Farmers Market Trust Fund, Brigantine, New Jersey. We have a motion second.
So moved.
And we actually have Fran Paul in here. I don't know if people had questions. I thought the presentation was pretty straightforward, but she's here if anyone had questions. Jeanette's here. Speak, come on up. Please.
Come up, Mike.
In addition to rate increases for non-farm vendors, and particularly for the second stall, we felt that was undervalued, but we lowered the rate for farmers each week because we want to encourage more farmers to apply. We kind of don't have as many farmers at the market as we would like, so this will help us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for everything you do, that the whole team does. Hardest working team on the island.
There's no questions or comments from council. We have roll call.
You,
Yes.
Lettieri. Hany.
Yes.
Virgilio.
Yes.
Kane.
Yes.
Reardon.
Yes.
Mayor Sarah.
I would like to thank everybody with the Farmers Market Committee and the Green Team for all of their work. This is a year-round labor of love. There's a lot of time that goes into it, but your love and dedication has made the farmers market. Obviously, it was named one of the top 10 in the country. It's definitely one of the best in the area. And I know I talked to a lot of the vendors. They love being here. They love the setup. They love the support that they get from all of you. So thank you very much. I vote yes.
Motion carried.
Resolution 2025-26, and this is a resolution to authorize the tax assessor to file a petition of appeals for the tax year 2025. A motion second. Motion.
Second.
Questions or comments? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
You,
Yes.
Lettieri.
Yes.
Hany.
Yes.
Virgilio.
Yes.
Kane.
Yes.
Reardon.
Just want to talk about, I know there's a gentleman here tonight that came specifically for this. Wanted to hear a little bit about process, what this does in its terms, I suppose. And this authorizes file a petition.
So the tax. That's, I think it starts with the tax assessor, give them the authorization for that. We also have legal counsel. But if there's a specific issue, or specific thing. Reach out to us, see how that's.
Yeah, I vote yes.
Mayor Sarah.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Resolution 2025-27, and this is a resolution by the city of Brigantine, New Jersey, authorizing the refund of court overpayment to the city of Brigantine. This is in the amount of $70. A motion second. Motion second. Questions or comments? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
You,
Yes.
Lettieri.
Yes.
Hany.
Yes.
Virgilio.
Yes.
Kane.
Yes.
Reardon.
Yes.
Mayor Sarah.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Resolution 2025-28, this is a resolution by the city of Brigantine, New Jersey, authorizing a refund of trash container payment to 5106B Ontario Avenue, Brigantine, New Jersey, and this is the amount of $100. Motion second. Questions or comments? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
You,
Yes.
Lettieri. Hany.
Yes.
Virgilio. Kane.
Yes.
Reardon.
Yes.
Mayor Sarah.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Resolution 2025-29. This is a resolution by the city of Brigantine, New Jersey, authorizing a refund of emergency medical services overpayment. Brigantine, New Jersey, this is the amount of $700, and I think this is for a double payment. And motion second.
Make that motion.
Questions or comments? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
You,
Yes.
Lettieri.
Yes.
Hany.
Yes.
Virgilio.
Yes.
Kane.
Yes.
Reardon.
Yes.
Mayor Sarah.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Resolution 2025-30, and this is a resolution authorizing City of Brigantine for New Jersey Green Acres funding application. We have a motion second.
I'll make that motion. Second.
This is the grant for the ADA compliant playground that our city manager talked about earlier. Do we have any, I guess, further questions or comments? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
You,
Yes.
Lettieri,
Yes.
Amy, Virgilio, Kane,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Mayor Sarah,
Yes.
motion carried.
Resolution 2025-31. This is a resolution authorizing a change order to new stormwater pump station and reconstruction of intersection at 12th Street North East Evans Boulevard. And this is a decrease of $29,102.76. We have a motion second.
Make that motion.
Questions or comments? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
You,
Yes.
Lettieri,
Yes.
Amy,
Yes.
Virgilio,
Yes.
Kane,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Mayor Sarah,
Yes.
motion carried.
Resolution 2025-32, and this is a resolution authorizing a contract with de Blasio and Associates for stormwater improvements to Bayshore Avenue from 38th Street to Lighthouse Circle. And this is the amount of $15,750. Motion second.
I'll make that motion. Second.
So for this, one of the things we're starting to address now is flooding on the south end of the island. We are going to be repaving, I guess, Bayshore, which is in front of the Public Works Building. But while we have the street opening and before the county does the redesign and construction of the circle, we want to fix our infrastructure underneath. It is believed that part of, well, I guess there's two parts to it. One with the county, some of the pipes that are under the circle, they don't have the right flow to them, like either they have sediment or kind of collapsed a little bit. So part of the work that the county is going to do is to repair those pipes. For us, when it gets back into our system, the outfall pipe for that area, if you go to the Acme Shopping Center, you know where that little pond area is? Well, the outfall pipe goes there. So we want to install check valves and some other stop gaps in order to stop the water from backing up on high tides. We believe this will help the water and the pumps that are there to pump better and be more efficient. One of the things I always say, we live on a barrier island. We've only got, maybe a foot of height sometimes. So when it's a heavy rain, it's still going to flood, but this is going to help clear those areas faster. And it's going to help to minimize flooding. And the reason I say that is sometimes when we do these projects, people have the assumption that it's going to eliminate flooding 100%. That's very, very hard on barrier islands, but Brigantine has been very successful with the work that we've done. If you drive in some of the other communities, I don't want to list them by names, it's not appropriate, but if you head south a little bit, drive through some of these other barrier islands, especially on these storms, especially with the rain, they're dealing with feet of water that doesn't go away. We're in a much better position, but that is really because of the proactive work that we've probably been doing the last 20 years here in Brigantine. We had focused on the north end because that was the area of most issues. Now we're starting our work on the south end because that needs to be addressed too, and this is part of that project. We had a motion second. Are there any questions or comments from council? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
You,
Yes.
Lettieri,
Yes.
Virgilio,
Yes.
Kane,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Mayor Sarah,
Yes.
motion carried.
We have resolution 2025-33. This is a resolution authorizing a contract with Palestine and Associates for construction management inspection services for the 14th Street South bulkhead and drainage. This in the amount of $25,690. A motion second.
Make that motion. Second.
Questions or comments? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
You,
Yes.
Lettieri.
Yes.
Amy,
Yes.
Virgilio,
Yes.
Kane,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Mayor Sarah,
Yes.
motion carried.
All right, resolution 2025-34, and this is a resolution accepting the Department of Community Affairs estimates for the fourth round of affordable housing obligations for 2025 through 2035 for the city of Brigantine. We have a motion second. Is there a second? All right. So Most people are familiar with the Mount Laurel decision. Short version of it, state of New Jersey, the Supreme Court has determined that every municipality in the state has an obligation to provide affordable housing. Every 10 years, we go through this process. The state comes up with a number that they believe Brigantine should be able to provide. The state right now, and this is what I was underlining, so I don't have to search through the whole thing. They're saying our present need is 13 units, our prospective need is 19 units. What we're voting on today just says that we agree with the state, with the DCA, that that is the realistic need for Brigantine. To put it in perspective, I don't remember the last time or the specific number, but the last time we went through this process, it was somewhere around 495 homes they wanted us to put into Brigantine. That was not a realistic number. We had a very, very long legal battle with the state of New Jersey. We eventually came to a compromise that worked. For this, what they're saying, the present need is 13, prospective need is 19. It's probably a more reasonable number. What this resolution does, it only says that we accept their number. The next step of this, we have 6 months for this, is the city of Brigantine has to put together a plan of how we intend to meet this obligation. One of the things we do now, we have a COA fund. COA is the Coalition of Affordable Housing. So any new construction on the island, there's a percent that the builders have to pay and the owners have to pay that goes into a fund. That fund is used to buy what we call market rate housing. We buy housing, we rehab it, we sell it at what the state says to people who qualify for that affordable housing. That has helped to meet our obligation. We have some overlay zones that we've done in the past, but that is where we are in this step. Our legal counsel will guide us through the next step. In my conversations, probably about 6 to 8 months ago with DCA, they want to change the way they do this. They don't want to get into the protracted legal battles with every municipality and really work with individual municipalities to meet a fair obligation. Looking at this on the surface, it seems like they intend to keep their word. I think this is kind of reasonable. So I think it's worth moving forward, but there are more steps to this. Open up to council if there's any questions or comments. Seeing none, can we have roll call?
You,
Yes.
Lettieri. Hany,
Yes.
Virgilio.
Yes.
Kane,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Mayor Sarah,
Yes.
motion carried.
Resolution 2025-36, and this is a resolution of the city of Brigantine for a LEAP implementation grant. Participants, highway speed feedback signs. We have a motion second. Tiger, I know this is a grant with the county. Can you give us a little information on this?
Sure. I was approached by the county to see if we wanted to participate in this. There's multiple municipalities within the county. So there's two here. The first one that you're speaking about now is the highway speed feedback sign, which is one of those where it shows you what your speed is. And you know, these trailers would be able to be used by us if we can request them over the island. Anybody who participates in this grant will have access to the trailers. Obviously, there could be a time when we say, hey, can we have it for these couple of days? So it might be scheduling, like police department would work with the county to use these signs. The second one that you're going to talk about is the highway digital sign. So that's more like a message board sign. You know, if we have a big event, triathlon, other things, I know we have message boards. If we're in the need of another one, an additional one, we could always request it from the county to use it for. So that would just, by approving these, it allows us to participate and use those.
Is there any cost to the city?
Zero cost.
So this is a grant for the county. If there's any cost, the county bears the cost of that, but by participating, we have access to both of these things. That's accurate, yes. Any questions or comments from council? Seeing none, we have roll call.
You,
Yes.
Lettieri.
Yes.
Hany,
Yes.
Virgilio.
Yes.
Kane,
Yes.
Reardon, Mayor Sarah,
Yes.
motion carried.
Resolution 2025-37, and this is a resolution of the city of Brigantine for a LEAP implementation grant participating in highway digital signs. We have a motion second.
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
You,
Yes.
Lettieri, Payne,
Yes.
Virgilio,
Yes.
Kane,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Mayor Sarah,
Yes.
motion carried.
Nothing on our consent agenda. Next up, we'll open up for our council manager committee discussion, starting with our city manager.
I have nothing, fortunately for any of you. I do want to reiterate, Lynn, from myself, deputy manager, and all of the employees that we've been so blessed to have you in our lives. I want to say thank you. And, enjoy retirement. Absolutely earned it. Thank you.
To our departments. And for us.
Thank you, Caroline. It's a pleasure. Back and forth, different things. But the quickest around. So, we know you to be around.
Thank you, Lynn. Really been a big help to us.
I'll go over to our deputy mayor, Karen View.
Same, same, Lynn. We love you. We're going to miss you. We wish you many, many years of happy, healthy retirement. And Christine is going to do a great job. And yeah, and I know you're just a phone call away for her. I just want to thank Jim Mogan and the CER staff and Jim's daughter, Kim Mogan, for leading 25 travelers from our island on January 2nd to Philadelphia. And then we flew to Fort Lauderdale, got on Celebrity Beyond for a 10-day cruise. It was wonderful. They worked with Boscov's Travel. Everything is just so easy for travelers. We had an awesome trip, lots of sunshine, and we missed the snow. I want to wish the mayor happy birthday.
Volunteer.
By the weather. Something, don't you? Hey, good luck, Christine.
That's it.
Thank you, Mayor. Lynn, I second everyone's remarks. You're awesome. We're blessed to have you. Happy trails. Just want to touch on our windmill committee. And back several months ago, we worked diligently, Mayor, myself, and Bob Croce. There's a lot of efforts that went in there, and Mayor did a lot of legwork around the different townships and everything. And recently, he shared an article with us, Vince did, on the efforts of Congressman Van True. And, working towards, we know that all the efforts combined are paramount, they're extremely important, but the long game is very important too, because we know with the administration, the outgoing administration, and where we stand from a state governmental standpoint, things were, it was a tough road to hoe, it was going to be, but now with President-elect Trump, things are looking up. That executive order that President Trump has spoken about that was in that article, I'm sure you're going to touch on that. That's that. Don't have these monstrosities that never comes to fruition. incomprehensible that they're trying to shove these things down our throats. But, okay, that's it. Thanks.
Congratulations, Kat. Swearing in tonight. And Lynn, I want to take it from a little bit of a different perspective. I'm hearing from everyone here what kind of great work Lynn did here with you. But I want to give a perspective on what she does for organizations in the community, and specifically the Elks. And these volunteer organizations have no idea how to navigate ABC laws and city ordinances, and how to file paperwork. And so patiently has taught so many different people how to navigate that in the city, and has since become friends with my wife because she took that project on, and she has said nothing but what a wonderful person you are, and the time that you dedicate to teaching people things, as opposed to someone who would may get annoyed with always having to reteach different organizations how to do these things. So wanted you to know that from the community perspective, how you touch people. Thanks, Mayor.
What an absolutely amazing job. Always guided me to, but you don't see it always guided me. Wow. I wish you the best of time. Very much. Christine, you're going to do fantastic. You're going to do absolutely fantastic. I know you are. Congratulations on your. Karen, did it again. Too late to back out now. But congratulations. Congratulations. You guys. Thanks.
Mayor, first of all, I'd like to thank everybody who came out here on this brutally cold night here. But it was for a good reason. I mean, what else can I say that hasn't been said before? I mean, your countless hours of volunteering for those in need, the everlasting impact. And wherever, if it's in Florida or wherever, I know you, like Neil said, you'll continue to do good work. So thank you. Especially when I came on board, one thing I loved about Lynn was that anytime you called her, she either picked up or she called you right back. And so, thanks so much. So, Karen, again, and I guess the only other thing is short. Thank you, Chamber of Commerce here, President Bull, and President. We're planning a lot of things for this year. Planning stages, especially Shake the Shamrock, March 15th, the parade, St. Patrick's Day parade. So that's a good thing. Thanks for everybody. Green team and farmers market and stuff. Oh. Thanks.
I would say we have something really special here. When I talk to a lot of other governing bodies, they don't have, we have a really good team. It's not just our council, it's the community, it's the organizations. It's just, I'm telling you, it's special. I spend a lot of time in a lot of different places, and I'm always grateful for everything we have here at Brigantine. Lynn, we are going to miss you immensely. I know there's a lot of times I've called you when there's some people who needed help and I know in turn. Steve, we're very, very excited to have you come. It's going to be. I was gonna ask, because they're talking about your city phone. I got your personal number, so you can't get away from me. And John, I wanted to thank Public Works. In that last snowstorm, your guys worked very, very hard, worked through the night. Everything was excellent. And I know how hard they worked on making sure please convey on behalf of council how proud we are of living in the city. I got a lot of compliments from people, and people talked about how you guys worked through the night, cleared the street, especially keeping the businesses open. And the kids are excited to have an extra day off of school and a little bit later. That worked out well for them too. So thank you. South Jersey Gas was working on a project. Just wanted to update council. They're working on a project down on the south end on the boulevard. We had some questions about the restoration. In Brigantine, we have an ordinance where if utilities do a certain number of cuts, they have to do a full restoration of the street. We reached out to the county to see what their restoration process is because it is a county road. The county just spent a ton of money to pave that street. South Jersey Gas has let us know that they're going to now delay that project. And I guess they want to look at the design, what their responsibilities are. So hopefully we get some more information on that. But I think it's important. And that's one of the things you hear me say a lot. I hate to pave a street and see it cut back open a bunch of times. So as soon as we have more information on that, we'll get that back to everybody. But that gas line and some of the work they're doing, some of the upgrades they're doing on the island, but it's on the boulevard. I'd say probably from roughly Harbor Beach towards the bridge, so it's going to be in that area. We're also looking at what we're doing for the access road, which is the road parallel to that. We have a full reconstruction of that, and I want to check in if you can just check with South Jersey Gas and the county. I want to make sure that since they're delaying the project, that they don't intend to do that project after we repave it, and if they do, then obviously they're on the hook to repave it afterwards. So I just want to make sure we stay on top of that because I don't waste money. I have a couple planning board appointments. These are reappointments that we have to do. So I'd like to have a motion second to reappoint the following planning board members. Mayor Sarah, Fire Captain Kyle Driscoll, Councilman Paul Lettieri, Dory Hearn, Jay Ferreira, Paul Mapitano, and Alexis Eisenman. Motion second. I'll make that motion. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? No. Motion passed. Everybody's reappointed. Much. Well, welcome back. I wanted to give a quick update. I know Dennis talked about this a little bit. I've been in contact with Congressman Van Drew and through him in contact with President Trump when it comes to the ocean wind projects. One of the things that we knew going into this, that obviously through the city, through other municipalities, through our different citizens groups, we have a number of lawsuits that have been filed against these companies to stop them on the construction and stop them from moving forward. One of the things we knew that it was going to be something more than just litigation. We needed to change the administration, talked with Congressman Van Drew. He explained the situation to President Trump. One of the things that he ran on was stopping these projects. He's made several public statements about how they're bad specifically to New Jersey, but specifically for the coast. Congressman talked with him a couple of days ago, and the Congressman and the President have put out a statement. The President has asked Congressman Van Drew and his staff to put together the language that needs to be in that executive order. He wants to make sure that he gets it right to stop those projects out there. That will be coming forward. I don't know if it's going to happen on day one. I know they already have 28 executive orders lined up and ready to go. But I think he wants to get this right and probably within the first weeks to months of his administration. He's going to get that executive order done and forward and keep that campaign promise. I think that is very, very important for the people who live along the coast, especially for our businesses who are here and our residents. I've talked about the long-term negative implications that come from these, so I won't rehash it, but it's kind of good to see how the system works. You know, this kind of started here in Brigantine. I knew this was a fight we couldn't do by ourselves, but we were able to build a coalition, not just of elected officials, but citizens
That
groups.
was all you. That's all you, Vince.
But we were able to build a coalition of people up and down the entire East Coast. There's a number of elected officials and citizens groups that we were able to work with, and that's the kind of force to stop these projects. In Maryland, talking with Mayor of Ocean City, Maryland, those projects are underway and are already started. I've heard video, he has video and stuff of the construction out in the ocean and the pounding of the monopiles 24 hours a day. You just hear it. He's like, this is what my residents are dealing with. One of their biggest concerns, like we're in the situation where they haven't started construction, but for them down there, construction has already started. If these projects end, these companies can walk away. And this is one of the major issues we had. Any other, I don't know, fuel or utility company, when they build this kind of infrastructure, they have to put up performance bonds and performance guarantees, and they have to have a decommission plan so that in the event they can't move forward or in the event there's a major catastrophic problem, there is funding available to decommission and restore, I want to say the ocean, or to restore the landscape back to what it was. In order to make these financially viable, the federal government has waived that. That's a problem. There's rules in place for a reason. It needs to be consistent for all energy industries. And those rules are put in place to protect our environment and to protect our people. And this is one of the major issues we had with this. And unfortunately, there's going to be some states that may be stuck. And it's going to come down to the federal government's responsibility to deconstruct and remove, which means the taxpayers of our country are going to be on the hook. That's wrong. Like I said, it's good to see that the system works, that what we started here by ourselves grew into a major coalition involving government officials at every level. I'm proud of that. We're still going to continue forward with our lawsuits. Our citizens groups are going to continue forward with their lawsuits. We just dropped another couple of them. We're not going to take the foot off the gas until these companies leave. And I know that Dennis talked about this a little bit, but with each administration, this is something that could come up again, right? Because this all started, under the Obama administration. When Trump first came into office, he did the right thing. He talked to the municipalities who live along the coast. Nobody wanted them. He said, look, if you guys don't want them, I'm not going to do it. When Biden Murphy administration came in, a number of people reached out. They didn't care. They didn't want to hear what we had to say. So we took this through the process, and we're going to continue this battle. We'll keep people posted as information comes out. I know that Van Drew is very, very good at keeping that information going forward. We've been working with our county commissioners through another organization that I'm a part of, which is the Jersey Strong Coalition. There's 50 municipalities in the state of New Jersey. We're all working together to fight these ocean wind projects. We have sent a number of letters to the Board of Public Utilities, to our elected officials, to President Trump, to Governor Murphy, either explaining what our issues are with these projects or explaining the steps that we believe that should be taken to stop these. And I would tell you that almost every single commissioner that's sitting on there has signed these letters and has really stepped up their support of this fight. I'm proud to see that. Like I said, that's what makes this great, is having that team to work together. So we'll keep more information coming as that moves forward. At this time, we'll open it up for public comment. Anybody wishing to be heard, please come up and state your name and address for the record.
Michael Galley, 112 12th Street North. So, Mike and I had a home built here in and we have all of our budgeting in place, mortgages, and it came in well above, property taxes came in well above expected. We had our home built by Gary Warner, and our model is all over. Where I got a lot of those estimates were based on, the taxes that that model was paying. I was very uneducated in property tax, and if I say something that is not accurate, I do apologize, because since I learned that, I began to dig into exactly what could be the cost. And it appears that Brigantine hasn't had a full city reassessment since 2014. And since then, property values have skyrocketed, to where they're well over double what they were in 2014. And I'm not saying that my assessment is incorrect. It's actually correct. I was basically assessed at what the value the purchase price of the home was. Makes sense to me. But unfortunately, that means that I pay about double what somebody with my exact property, and a lot of them, even in better locations, are paying. So I began the process to find out what can be done about it. I by no means don't want to pay less than my fair share. I just want to pay my fair share as well. I think everybody probably would. So, I called the assessor. She was very helpful. She told me that I should look to the county, Atlantic County, as to when a whole city assessment would be scheduled and why. When I called them, they told me that it would be the state's responsibility. When I called the state, they told me to call the local assessor. So you can see where it's the circular frustration that goes on. And, it's now 2.5 years, paying about $500 extra every month. So I can't have that nice new car. So I did get a hold of someone in the Van Drew's office, and he recommended that I come here and, talk to you guys, at least to get the ball rolling, to see if maybe there is, a schedule for a new assessment, or, maybe there is something that the tax assessor can do to help the people. I found out that the only time in Brigantine that your home is reassessed is through a whole city reassessment, or if it's a new build or major renovations are done to the property. So you have a fairly short group of people. Home values really haven't skyrocketed since 2019, 2020. They were reasonable up until then. But you have a short amount of group of people that are paying quite a bit of money more in property tax than they should be. So I don't know if there's anything the assessor can do to help us. I've heard some things about a handbook, and she may be able to go in there and do a certain grouping, to have our properties reassessed like it's 2014. So I guess just my question is anything on the books to, help.
Probably the tax assessor would be the best person to help you with that. I can tell you that one of the things we've been talking with the county about is a revow. It is triggered by the state of New Jersey. One of the things that the county actually asked us to hold off on is because of the housing market. Last time we went through a revow, it was at the height of the market. Prices came back down, and there was massive appeals. And what happens in the appeal process is we collect the taxes for the county, and when people appeal, we still have to pay the county based on the higher rate, but the taxes get lowered for the individual, and then that comes out of the city budget, which causes issues with the local taxes. So what the recommendation was for us to do was to wait a couple years to let the market stabilize, to see what the trend is. So when we do a reassessment, that it's actually a fair assessment and not at the very height, because as you know, housing prices go up and down. And the biggest focus for us is stability of taxes. And that's something we're going to be looking at this year, is looking at what's the prices. As you said, 2019, 2020 was probably the height. I'd say probably 21,
Well, not the
22.
height, just when it really took.
Yeah.
Right now it's the height.
So that's what we want to look at, and then what that process is. And that's something actually I've had a conversation with the city manager as well as with the county, because we want to make sure that what we do is meaningful and impactful, and not put us, I think last time we did this was like 2012. And I think we had like 2 to 4 years of massive appeals. We actually had to have a whole budget line in the budget because we as the city were still on the hook to pay the county portion of that. So we are working our way through that process, and hopefully we'll have more information.
Totally could appreciate that. Just didn't know if there was anything you can do to help me now.
So I'd say probably the best person would be the tax assessor. She could guide you through that process. We don't have intimate knowledge of how the tax code works, but she is very, very helpful, and she can help you through that process. And then, like I said, we're starting to look at what we can do on our end.
Okay, fair enough.
Awesome. Thank you.
Michael, just one other thing, the resolution tonight that authorized the tax assessor to file a petition for appeal. In the past, when we were getting bombarded with appeals after, we actually had to hire companies, to handle all the appeals. So now, not so many appeals. All right.
Thanks a lot. Yes.
My name's Dan Hogan. I live at 223 Street South. Appreciate the meeting. I'm sure you got a lot of other stuff to worry about. And I'm not good at public speaking, so when I so breaks the ice. So I was wondering if you guys want to pass the basket and reopen the pub. Bad joke, so. Just a question. We had gotten, my wife and I, been on about 7 years now, built the house. We received a letter saying something about the water system. I thought the water tastes good. I was happy. I even have a friend that's an engineer. He looked it up. Oh, great. Then we got this letter, and of course, my wife said she was like, "It doesn't taste the same," and sick. And I don't know who to ask about that.
There's no concerns with water. I can give you a brief overview, and if you need more detail, our Director of Public Works can give you more specific information. The state of New Jersey, a couple years back, has deemed galvanized pipes as a potential lead hazard. So because galvanized pipes are a potential lead hazard, the state has mandated that in the state of New Jersey, every municipality has to remove and replace those pipes. Part of the process of that is we have to notify every homeowner that there is a potential. Is the year 1985? Everything prior to 1985, we have to go back and check because it could have been done with galvanized steel. Everything after 1985 is probably not an issue, but there's no issues with our water. The water is tested regularly. The water is safe. It's just a mandate from the state of New Jersey that we are obligated to follow up on. We're doing this in 10 phases. First part of this, we have to notify everybody. We do an exploratory process. Once we identify specific homes, there's a follow-up letter that comes out to say, hey, we've identified this specific home. And then we have to take the process forward from there. But there's no issues or no hazards or threats or problems with the water.
So it's the supply coming to my house. Because I know when they built the house, they threw all new pipes outside.
I would guess.
Is that about the pipes or was talking about the letter that went out last year about the actual water?
In 24, yeah, it came out like back.
That's
Like months ago? There was a letter that came out that people were concerned about the actual water, and that was just an oversight. That we had to, that you guys had to send out, even though there was no problem with the water. I didn't know if he was talking about the actual letter, that letter that came out, or was he talking about the pipes that?
I think it was about the pipes.
Okay.
And I think you addressed what there's not wrong with the water. Way off charts now. The towers, how do they handle, see a lot of work being done right here. Do they ever, is there in the plans ever to like clean them or paint
That's what
them?
we're doing on now.
Oh, is that what's going on?
Yeah, the one by the school, we just redid, recleaned the whole thing. Now we're working on this one. When this one's done, we're doing the next one. We actually hired a professional company that comes in to do all that work, maintenance. But that's part of our project now. Cleans the inside, the outside, everything.
No, I just hate to say it, but my house, I see that every morning. Big problems I got. Thank you so much.
When it's done, it's gonna be beautiful.
There you go. And congratulations on your retirement. It's the greatest. You don't have to get up.
Ten oh two oh eight Washington Drive. And again, I know the mayor, I know council, 25 years here on the island. Some 10 plus years ago when I stood here, somehow managed to wind up the volunteer for Shark Park's renovation. I had no idea what it meant to the community to have a playground like that. To see this new development come, to see it planned out with that handicap accessibility is another level. I want to thank you all behind the scenes for getting it done. I'll be around, I'll try to get involved with it any way I can. So I thank you for that. Lynn, on behalf of the Chamber of Commerce,
for all the years, all the presidents, all the people who've been involved with the chamber, you've always been a rock to help them make sure that the paperwork got done, make sure that they did things the right way. So thank you on behalf of the chamber. Good luck on your retirement. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say, you know, with Shark Park, with the new playground, I I often still get questioned about condition of Shark Park. And people don't appreciate how much Public Works has done all these years to maintain it and maintain the other park as well. So thank you to John and his team. Thank you to you guys. Looking forward to another great year. So thanks.
I don't know if people realize too, when we redid Shark Park, Paul spearheaded the citizens group, citizens organization, and without his work that he put into that, it wouldn't be as beautiful as it is. And I would say that was another full-time job that took over your life. So we got another playground we're gonna build, so I'll be calling you later. Nah, but as I said, Paul, thank you for everything you do. Appreciate it. If there's no other public comment, or, oh, one up.
3701 Atlantic Brigantine Boulevard. First of all, please don't do any reassessments. Can't afford any more taxes here. I've just, after owning from 2001, I have finally become a New Jersey resident and have been very happy to see the taxes I have to pay, insurance and everything else in New Jersey. It has hit hard, but anyway, that's not my point. Just a question that I have is, when I looked at this, who determines what affordable housing is in Brigantine?
The state of New Jersey.
The state, okay. And what is that determination?
It's trying to give you the short version. All right, so the short version of this is there was a lawsuit that started in Mount Laurel because there wasn't equal access to housing.
Right.
Mayor of the town said some derogatory, probably inappropriate comments to an individual about it. Didn't think it was his responsibility. That precipitated a lawsuit, took its way all the way to New Jersey Supreme Court. They came up with something called the Mount Laurel decision. The Mount Laurel decision says that every municipality in the state has an obligation to provide affordable housing.
Right.
From there, you have the Coalition on Affordable Housing. This is run through the DCA in the state of New Jersey. They come up with assessments for every municipality about what they believe is reasonable, a reasonable number of houses that you have to create that are affordable. Each municipality has to put together a plan of how you meet that. When you put together the plan of how you meet that, the DCA and COA have specific guidelines which kind of guide what affordable housing is. The state of New Jersey keeps a list of people who qualify for affordable housing. And then from their list, they determine the rates at which we can sell those houses for to the people who are on those lists. Because last time we went through this process, I tried to say, well, there's people in Brigantine who need places they can afford. Can we build affordable housing for people in Brigantine? And they said, no. We have a state list. It comes from the state list. One of the things we were able to do is build affordable housing for veterans. And if you look at next to where the pool is, the old.
There's something going up there, correct?
Yeah, we're doing 5 units there of affordable housing for veterans. And that's something that we agreed on with the state of New Jersey. If we're going to build affordable housing, we wanted to take care of our veterans. But this still comes from a state list, and veterans get first preference on that. So that's what we're working on. For this next round, all we're doing is agreeing on the number. 19 is probably reasonable. The 495, like last time we went through this process, they were trying to make us put houses in the middle of like Sheridan Circle. I'm like, seriously, you put houses in a circle, that doesn't make sense. So the state has taken a different approach, but they have the guidelines that are set. We try to meet those guidelines.
Thank you. I have a lot to catch up with, so thank you.
Listen, I can tell you with being in negotiation with Vince and Mayor Simpson, the experience he has now and the knowledge we've learned from the last negotiations. I mean, when they told us we had to do 400 built the Brigantine. They told them they're out of their minds more or less. Andy was pretty good at it. So we worked out an agreement. You have to bargain in good faith, you know, work out some overlays on some stuff.
Stone Harbor. That would be a house,
Well, I mean,
not the same.
even 13 or 19 too it's more doable.
And it only says that we have to come up with a plan. It doesn't say we actually have to do it. And it has to be a reasonable plan that you can achieve. And we do work towards it. Like, I think there's some things we can do to make things better for people. You look into just having like kids in the school. How many young families can afford to live here, especially with like start homes? So it does create opportunity that way. I think for some of our seniors too, it does create opportunity. So there's some good that comes with it. As long as the DCA is willing to work with us, we can find mutual good, I think we're okay with that.
There's a question back.
Yes, Mrs. Phillips.
NH Phillips, 308 27th Street. Question. Is the city currently involved as a plaintiff in any legal action involving opposition to the bill?
Yeah, we have the joint lawsuit that we filed with the other 8 municipalities that's still pending. We have a couple of lawsuits. Bob Stern with Save LBI has dropped a couple, and the Jersey Strong Coalition, which I represent Brigantine on, is moving forward.
Okay, now, I read about the Long Beach Island. That's
Absolutely.
federal court. Are ours in county state court?
Yeah.
We're not.
No.
All right. What is the position now? The city involving county court commissioners, which has not taken a position on this. We were working on that in the county. Where does that stand now?
I'd say almost every single commissioner now has taken a position against ocean wind. They have all now signed letters that we have requested to send to the different agencies. And I think right now we're kind of all like a little bit of a holding pattern because it's the ball's in the federal level with President Trump. And he has made several public statements that he intends to completely shut them down.
Yes.
But I would tell you almost every single, even some of the commissioners who were like not saying anything have now all signed on and understand the importance of moving this forward.
Well, has this been made public? Not to my knowledge. Has the board as itself, as a board, taken a position in opposition to these women?
I don't think they've taken an official vote, but they've all now signed letters in opposition and they're taking a stand. Anything I've asked them to work on with us, they work on.
Shouldn't they be taking a public position as a board?
It can, that's up to them as a board to take, but I can tell you they're now working very closely, especially with Commissioner Rich Days. He's now the chairman of the board, and he and John Risley have been some of the biggest champions of that. Commissioner June Burns, who was here tonight, has been a big advocate. Andrew Parker is now on board. Mike Ruffy, who was just elected, is now on board with this. They're working very hard. Jim Bertino, he was great. He's a mayor, whatever you need, I'm with you. So I'm
Okay,
telling
but
the
there
majority.
still has not been a statement, public statement. that the opposed to these, right?
I don't believe that they've taken an official vote.
Anything that this council representing the city can send to them in terms of a letter?
I mean, I can talk with Chairman Days, but I can tell you that they're all very much engaged. They've all signed on to the letters that we have been putting forward. And really right now, all eyes are on President Trump because that's really a question. That's what his executive order is what seals the deal. And that's really what we need. One of the things they did all sign on for is through the Jersey Strong Coalition, one of the letters that we sent to Banjo and President Trump was the specific language that we're requesting in the executive order. They they've all signed on requesting that language. So they're very, very much engaged.
Things are moving along nicely so far.
I don't know if you saw, but there's a great article on New Jersey SpotlightNews.com about what the mayor said there, the executive order that Congressman Van is preparing. And what that's gonna do is put a 6-month moratorium to start
That's
with
right.
in the beginning, and that's gonna happen. Like you said, in the first.
Emails around already. So very- Okay, this was just. Any pressure, any influence this council has exerted on board of commissioners. Called any letters, and I know, I've done that.
The county executive, I don't know if you listen to him on talk radio, but he has come out several times that he doesn't want them. He's not in favor of them. He supports us.
Well, okay. So pressure is important. I think but it's against are still here.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Weiss. There's no other public comment. We're going to close the public portion. Any final council comments?
Yes, Mayor, I dropped the ball. Karen, congratulations on your swearing in, your slash re-enlistment. And, while I'm at it, happy birthday, Vince, many, many more. Just kind of dropped the ball on that, but hopefully the Eagles don't drop the ball this weekend to Delaware Valley and locally. A lot of buzz going on, so go Birds.
If there's no further, if there's no further council comments, we have a motion to adjourn. Is there a second? All in favor? Aye. All right, motion passed. Meeting is ended. Thank you for coming out.